I think the experience of being in Pedro Pan is part of the foundation of my life. That day that I left, when I was 13 years old, the next day when I arrived in Miami, when I was walking late in the evening in the streets of Miami with my aunt's family to go to a Walgreens, I suddenly realized that I was away from my parents. It really hit me. And I wanted to cry and I wanted to go back, but I realized inside of me that I could not go back. I grew up that day.
All of a sudden, you're hit with a few things at the same time, and you either feel that overwhelmed, and you could easily fall into a depression, or you say, you know what, this is an opportunity to move forward and do the best you can.
Sometimes it's just time to get on with life and not be sentimental about things. And I think that experience allowed me to say, okay, I'm here now. I can't wallow in my misery. I can't just be thinking about what I left behind or, gosh, how I wish I was with my parents. I just got to get on with life. So I'd write them a letter a week, but I didn't sit around pining for them, you know? I mean, I wanted them to be here. I wanted to be reunited with them. But I was getting on to college. I was getting on to find a job so I could pay for college, trying to buy a car and do the things that kids would want to do as they were developing in life, but not trying to wallow in my misery, but get on with life and move on and try to be something.
One of the things I'm very grateful is that you lose the fear for life. You know you made it, and you know that something could come, but you will make it again. And that sense of assurance in oneself, it makes a big difference.
I really, truly believe that the parents of the Peter Pan kids, or that 14,000 kids that came through Peter Pan, were really special people. Because, I mean, they knew that the whole revolution was a dead end.
I don't know whether I would have the courage and faith that my parents had to make that sacrifice. I hope that under similar circumstances, I would find that courage and that faith. But I am not certain at all that I would do it.
You have to analyze the whole picture. And I would prefer to look at the positive side of it rather than the negative. However, if ever the situation would solve itself or would create itself, I would recommend the families never to be divided.
I understand how the persons may have our ideas. We are in a free country and everybody can have their own ideas. That's why we are here. And we can express what we feel and how we think. Unfortunately, the people who stay in Cuba, maybe they stay with their parents, but they were not free. And we have heard many stories now about what happened with the kids that were our age. And when you see that, you have to think about, that may have happened to me, and it didn't.
Every time I talk about this, I always say, you cannot, if you don't put yourself in the past, if you don't put yourself in the 1960, 1961, you will never understand why our parents took this decision.
When our parents made that most difficult decision of sending us away unaccompanied, they were acting as champions of freedom. And I think that the takeaway for me is to value freedom above just anything else in terms of political values, and to learn to value and respect and defend our freedom. So to me, I think that has been the most important takeaway, how it is impossible to pursue happiness if you're not free.